2, 1, fight.
Yeah, so I'm on Inns to begin with, and he doesn't pick up the heavy right after he spawns. Oh, he isn't able to deny the liney gun to CHERRA. So I think next plan for CHERRA is to go to the railgun. CHERRA is holding the angle to deny the rocket launcher, but to no effect. Oh, and he walks into a rocket, but does some great returning damage. And behind Inns is a totem. He doesn't walk into it, but he does leave the heavy for CHERRA to pick up. Adds a little bit of delay to the mega health, so you can play with that on the next rotation.
Yeah, and In's looking good stack-wise, but CHERRA much more in the center of the map. That Tribolt will certainly help CHERRA out. And Inns is taking his time to pick up the Mega. CHERRA will be making his position, and Inns just gave it up.
Yeah, I think he favored going for the light rather than taking the heavy. Yeah, he's
And
actually just evading the fights.
I think Inns realized that TPs are cut off for now, at least while he doesn't track those totems down.
Yeah, he almost wanted to go through it. But
Confirmation was obtained.
Yeah. But I do
CHERRA
think...
the other TP. So yeah. CHERRA has items plus totem overstack. Oh, CHERRA finds him. I don't think Inns can get out of this one, and he does not. CHERRA's looking great, and he even gets totems to get triggered off spawn. So CHERRA takes first one, and Inns, there's nothing really he can do other than maybe attempt an escape. Well, CHERRA throwing that totem down to not be railable doesn't really work out to his advantage. Picks up the heavy, but the heavy's gone. Will be making his move on the Mega, even though Inns at the better position. But, Inns opted to leave it and restack on other items. Oh, it is a fantastic rail. Both players really low. CHERRA not railable. Inns kinda is, and must leave this heavy and stack on other items. Oh, and what a rail from CHERRA.
Oh, and the spawn. That's so unfortunate. Two quick frags from CHERRA.
After a very slow start.
Oh, he connects some great rails, walks into a totem, but I think he earned himself the heavy. Yeah, CHERRA heard the activation of the mission and just hold an angle there. Inns still needed to get the rocket launcher, so that was a predictable move. All the armor of CHERRA was gone, by the way, but he just gets the light. Well, I think Inns is getting the heavy.
Slowing it down.
We actually have a bit of a chase, but there is no opening damage for Inns, so he just retreats. Oh, but somehow he can connect a rocket, gets the frag and the mega health. And Cherra is nowhere near the heavy, so Inz adds a full rotation to his name. He uses his ability to spot Cherra out. And can go aggressive, which he does. He does receive 2 full-on rockets and a rail after it, so yeah, now he needs to be on the defensive side. Oh, he does appear at the heavy. Cherra is holding an angle, so it's right for Inz to retreat. And leave it up for Cherra.
Yeah, Inz does have the position for this Mega, but Cherra should be there with the damage. And Inz opts to not risk it and retreats to the safety of the railgun.
Yeah.
Which is not that safe.
Yeah, I think he thought, oh, well, let's give the Mega Health to Cherra and then I'll go for this light. But there was no light to take.
Yes, the problem of not timing those is that you might fall into those kinds of situations where you're banking on an item being up and you don't know. Oh, Cherra getting caught here by the unpredictability of Inz, but that was completely not enough. And now Cherra is one totem away from overstack, which would be overkill at this point. Not in this one, and Inz falling onto that opportunity and collects that frag. 3 frag game with 3 minutes 10 seconds to go. The possibility is there, and now it's a true frag game, completely wide open.
Stopwatch.
Cherra had overstack for a brief moment, could not capitalize on it. No, and Inz getting himself within LG range.
Yeah, and oh wow. I did not expect that. Cherra had the better position and I thought he would certainly rain some rockets down, but before he can, Inz takes the jump pad and destroys him.
And again with a rocket jump, and Cherra is out. And all of a sudden it's a tied game. Inz clawing it back, making his control work. Even, well, after that rocky start, he came back in style into this one. But this time it's Cherra with 2 quick rails that gets himself back in the lead.
Yeah, it's just this looks like Inz has to work harder for those frags than Cherra does. But he earns himself the Mega Health, and it did remove all the armor Cherra had on him.
Yes, and now Cherra has a huge uphill climb.
Yeah, and Inz does take heavy, but he received a lot of damage prior to it. So
When Cherra even getting that rail, Cherra just keeps going. Cherra hoping to catch Inz on the railgun room, opts to get out without dealing any damage, unfortunately, and booby traps that teleporter. Inz going to be aggressive, but Cherra was expecting that, so...
yeah, but it was great. Inz did get a rail shot, and the follow-up is also for him. And that was insane. He uses his vision, then the let's grab, and yeah, that rail that sealed the deal. It got him an entry, and the follow-up was also great, finishing with the lightning gun. Hey Garpy, welcome. I got off work early, especially for this tournament.
Oh, Inz raining those rockets from above, and he's in the lead with 20 seconds to go. And after that not so good start, Inz clawed his way back. Waiting by the jump pad, Cherra has no idea where Inz could be, and now we will play the teleporter. Or you won't even have to. You will just get out of the area, and finally CHERRA loses a map.
Yeah, and there goes his winning streak. Great play from Ints. Those 2 or 3 unexpected rocket jumps. It surprised me, but it surprised CHERRA even more.
They surprised CHERRA, yeah. Barely.
Awesome play.
Yeah, but it was very well played all around. Other than the rocky start, it gave CHERRA a 3-0 lead with 2 minutes played. He clawed his way back. He wins himself map number 1. So now we're in Awoken, Doomguy and Ranger.
Oh, and they are putting the pedal to the metal. Without any pause, we go into the next one. And yeah, because CHERRA left up Doom, Ints got the Doom, and CHERRA gets the Ranger. So, and now he's 1 behind, right? So, should we put our money on Ints?
Maybe if well, at least CHERRA's tournament is not on the line. He still has the lower bracket to go, but it's always nicer to be on the upper bracket as long as you can.
True, but as a spectator, I do like upsets.
Yeah, we like upsets and we like map number 3, so
3, 2, 1. Fight.
Let's hope at least for a good one, as Inns picks up that mega health right away, and so does CHERRA with the heavy. So no separation between the items, and Inns going for the immediate aggression. But CHERRA able to defuse that and escapes from danger. Gets himself the LG. And Inns holding this middle area in T-Con. Waiting for CHERRA to make a move. CHERRA makes his move and eats a rocket to the face. And Inns can potentially get both items, but CHERRA faster to the heavy. Eats a rail on the way out. The stack is not looking so good right now, as he must play a little bit of a slower game.
Yeah, it's even without CHERRA making that sound, he knew where he was. And he does some great damage. CHERRA is really on the back foot.
Well, CHERRA should be dead now, and Inns capitalizes on it, and can potentially even get more damage off spawn. Gets a good rail, but eats a lot of LG damage. Inns not in the greatest of positions. He'll be trying to use the punch and lands 1, but not enough, and CHERRA gets that mega. That tasted so sweet because it was extremely low.
Yeah, that was a bit too ballsy because CHERRA got the light and the bubble after the last fight, so he should have connected 2 fisticuffs.
Yeah, speaking of ballsy, this time it works for CHERRA. Using the orb to go through the murder hole.
Oh, and the lightning gun of CHERRA destroys Inns.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Inns lost the lead that he worked so hard to create.
Yeah, he should slow down.
Stopwatch.
If he's able to.
Slowing down the gameplay, hitting rockets like that will help for sure. Oh, and that Drybolt. Inns doing a lot of good damage, but CHERRA in position to pick up that mega.
Yeah, Yeah, certainly. CHERRA won't slow down, but I think Inns needs to slow down a bit to stop the snowball. But he's doing great damage. And he gets the heavy, removes all the armor CHERRA has, and CHERRA is still raidable. So he's a bit on the defensive side, and he leaves the mega health to Inns.
Yeah, Inns even dealing some self-damage, trying to prevent CHERRA from restacking too much. Gets that heavy armor, and Inns is looking like a champion at the moment.
Yeah, CHERRA is in survival mode.
That's a fat Doom guy. Using the orb to go through the myrtle hole, but doesn't escape enough.
Bleeding out.
Tries the rocket jump that only works with the ranger because of that reduced self-damage passive, and CHERRA manages to escape. He was so extremely low. Risks a little bit showing up for this mega. Gets the light anyway. Doesn't dodge those rockets well enough, and Inns ties it up at 2.
Yeah, Inns doing the 2-step to evade the incoming rail damage. And yeah, as soon as CHERRA needed to reload, he connected his rockets. And he ties the game.
Stopwatch.
Getting himself the mega health.
Oh, Inns missing that first rail and sticking around for the second one. Oh, gets that light, risks going for that angle. Oh, and CHERRA going for the aggression! Incredible stuff from him.
Nice. Oh.
Punch out. No punches connected.
Yeah, he gets 2 frags in quick succession. While Inns, yeah, he has to work so hard to get 1. CHERRA just gets 2 with a flick of his finger. Or his mouse, rather.
Yeah, that orb was incredible. I want to do that the next time I play Awoken.
Yeah.
Oh no! Inns misses that rocket, hits himself, but follow-up defensive rockets are good, just not good enough.
Yeah, I think he's
It's a mistake.
a bit bamboozled by that play from CHERRA, though. Oh, what the fuck? He walks away with that.
I would be as well, but if I'm gonna lose, well, losing to that ain't the worst thing in the world.
Denied. Slayer.
Oh, and even a sub slayer. He's left with 12 health, but still deals a great deals of damage before dying. Oh, nice.
Now it's Inns getting back-to-back frags. Even with perfect timing on that light armor, stacks himself back up. Oh, and CHERRA doing some decent damage out of that TP exit. Both players completely aware of the other, and CHERRA collects that mega health, and with the items separated as they are, CHERRA could even potentially play to get that heavy, but the Inns will not let that happen. And both players with somewhat equal stacks should be a lot more of a dance this time around. CHERRA massively dodging those rockets. Inns runs out of rockets and is almost out of rails as well, so we must be careful.
Yeah, and he might be out of time in a few minutes if he doesn't tie it before that. Because, oh, yeah, CHERRA gets both items and is overstacked to the teeth.
Yeah, that's a fat ranger right there. That ranger could be a sumo wrestler if you wanted to. Inns peppering some nice damage. Nothing to write home about. Oh, and CHERRA going for the aggression. That could have been.
Oh,
much
well, he...
worse. Oh, no!
He
Chera misses the
slips
jump.
on a banana. And walks out of the map.
And that opens up the game to ins completely. One frag in 2 minutes, most certainly possible. You will have to work hard for it, as if we've been seeing all series long. If anyone can do it, it's ins. He's shown it before on Molten Falls that he can claw back from the jaws of defeat. Oh, Chera going balls deep to get that item.
Nice.
And ins ties it up with a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, he really took the time to create an angle. Oh, but the super shotgun with the orb, it doesn't seal the deal right away, but he does walk away with the mega health.
Was he left with 1 HP? I think he was left with 1 HP. Anyway, good stuff from Chera.
Oh, but the nails! No!
Oh, and that must have been a shot of frustration from Ins.
Yeah, he can defend the mega health because he has lightning while Chera doesn't. But he really needs to chase a frag up after he gets it. Let's...
Yeah, did not. Oh, it did not eat damage. That is actually awesome for Ins. Eats this one, but dodges the rocket, and he ties it up, and he's healthy enough to even get this heavy. And that just puts him over the top, and Chera must play a careful game, and those rockets will help.
Impressive.
Oh, fantastic rail from Ins to open it up. Chera, crying for armor, gets the light armor by the shotgun. It gets removed right away, and we brace ourselves for overtime.
Yeah, and I think Ince has enough time to go attack the heavy, but he receives the rail to the face with a follow-up.
He chases it up, and there's only 3 seconds of OT as Chera closes this one after a couple of impressive rails.
Damn, that was clutch.
That was absolutely clutch, especially after such a deflating moment. But Chera making it work, and
Ince had all the papers to go for that heavy, but he hesitated, and he gave an angle to Chera, and Chera hit that rail, got the heavy, then the orb, and I think it was a rocket that sealed the deal in the end.
yeah, but at that point the stack difference was something like 150 for Chera, so
True.
In would have to have played absolutely out of his mind, and Chera would have to whiff on everything. And that's not...
Yeah.
that math, absolutely not favorable if you're Ins.
True.
And we go for map number 3.
You Kanui. Thanks for the follow, and Ipas Visive. Also, thanks for the follow. I think I'm pronouncing that correct.
Well, if you're not, you'll get corrected in chat, so... Yeah, but cheers for the follow, guys, anyway. We do appreciate that. And we're going into ruins. The Strogan Peaker versus Athena.
That's an interesting
Prepare to
matchup.
fight. Round begins in 3, 2, 1. Fight.
Yeah, and Chera starts off at the LG and rail area, gets his heavy right away, and In's still delaying the Mega a little bit more. Not enough for anyone to get both items, but still some delay. And Chera trying to protect this railgun at all costs. looks like he'll be able to, but he must be careful with those rockets.
Yeah, I wonder, did he also deny the lightning gun to Ints?
Oh, and he could have gotten the rockets if he had wanted to, but that damage is incredible. And Inns will be hurting for armor at the moment.
Impressive.
Oh, they're extremely low and a couple of good rails.
Taken.
Oh, and he misses the one off the spawn. That would have been incredible. For CHERRA.
I do think that the rocket launcher is not a vital tool against Tina. So, yeah, he proves that a rail does work.
Oh, that is a very important rail for Inns, and you can absolutely try and chase this one if you can find out where CHERRA is, and CHERRA being a sneaky player. Gets his Mega, and will possibly even hold an angle on Inns. He actually will not, so Inns still with his armor overstack. Looking extremely healthy right now. And CHERRA little by little coming back.
Yeah, in the meantime he collected a light. Oh, he does some great damage with that rocket, but the mega health goes to Inns anyway. But he conquers himself the heavy, so he's doing great in that stack department, but not after that rail.
Oh, that was a very, very good peeker. That certainly demoralized Inns going into that fight. And right now the game is playing at a snail's pace, but Inns kind of holding CHERRA at arm's length a little bit. Not anymore. As he goes for it, loses the initial encounter and gets out of there. And now CHERRA is on the driver's seat stack-wise. Oh, but Inns a very good rail after the light armor pickup. Meaning that CHERRA has got to be careful, and he is. Using that peeker to great effect. Doesn't get any frag, gets some very useful information. And Inns using that added mobility to get that frag, and we got a tied game.
Yeah, I was surprised that that damage didn't stop the hook. Because it looked enough, but yeah, Inns just appeared on this screen, shoots a rail, and that was the money shot.
Oh, those nails will certainly help CHERRA's cause, but he's got to get out of the mega area. We can see that Inns and now is in trouble. Doesn't have a lot of stack, and Inns should be able to capitalize on this one. And maybe even getting a secondary frag here.
Oh, great switch to the rocket. Oh, he doesn't connect his rail.
Oh no, Inns suicided.
Facepalm.
All together. That's so deflating and unfortunate.
Yeah, it's back to a tie. But I do think that Inns got back in this game. Deservedly.
Yeah.
And still doing a great job of getting both items.
5-minute warning.
Oh, but he's gotta be careful with those because they hurt. Those rails hurt, and the Inns, as a light champion, does not have a lot of armor. And Inns being the silent one, that's not really a good position to get trapped on, but it'd be a good position to set up your own trap if your opponent is not aware of where you are.
CHERRA just disappeared from the map. I think this is the first time in 30 seconds that he makes some noise.
Tank.
But yeah, Inns was just waiting on the items. So CHERRA's passiveness gave both items to Inns.
Yeah, and for those of you who say that CHERRA can't play slow, well, you just lost that one. Now, Inns, as overstacked as he will be getting, eats a rail. It's another rail. Is now very, very low, and I don't think
Yeah,
CHERRA
CHERRA is waiting on his speaker. I think no, yeah, Inns just took the mega elf, so now it's not possible anymore to get this round.
Oh, the peeker! And he might even be able to get Inns off the spawn. And he will be getting Inns off the spawn. Nothing Inns can do. And again, 2 frags to the price of 1 for CHERRA. Now CHERRA's low, but makes it work. Unbelievable. But he botches that jump, so he must escape that area. Inns will track him down and will get that frag on, though. So we got a close nail-biter of a match here. Anybody can win this.
Yeah,
Inns might be down 2 frags, but he's certainly not out.
he has a little bit less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit less than 3 minutes for 2 frags. It's not easy on such a large map, but...
CHERRA just disappeared again. He's not making any noise.
Oh, makes noise now, picking up the ammo. And that gives Inns every bit of information he needs. But Inns did not really realize where CHERRA might want to go to.
Yeah, CHERRA just set up his tent at the heavy.
Yeah, waiting for Inns to make a move there.
Yeah, Inns need to break this silence. But he will walk into a lot of damage. That's guaranteed.
Oh, that was amazing damage.
Wow, I'm surprised he got the heavy.
On the heavy.
He had the correct timing. Awesome.
CHERRA is hurting for sure. Both players quite low. CHERRA picks up that mega, so he lives the fun end of the day. And it might actually be better for CHERRA to let Inns live and to worry about stacking up, but Inns had none of that.
Yeah, I think this sealed the deal for CHERRA. Oh, wait a minute. Look at those rockets!
Inns tries to come back.
Don't rule out Inns.
Oh, that was a fantastic rail. Oh no! CHERRA catching him from above with the LG.
Warning.
And that might have been it. Especially with the spawn trapping like that. Oof, that was a great pixel rail.
Yeah.
And Inns calls it, leaves this one, and after winning map number 1, Inns is not able to seal the deal. And CHERRA is the one moving on to the upper bracket finals.
Yeah. It was a little bit unfortunate. Inns just had to fight so much harder for those frags.
Yeah, and CHERRA will be playing Stone.